All right, my stir fry is complete.
Stir fry acquired.
Are we present and prepared? I am nourished.
I'm here.
Is everyone leveled up?
Here. Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Yep.
Groovy. When last we left our brave and intrepid adventurers, they went into the Forge of the Middle Mother. And
Yes.
They killed some bats and some spiders.
So many bats.
50,000
Cat, would you give us a
bats.
count?
It's on my YouTube channel. It's like 50,000 bats!
Just 85,000 bats.
The numbers kept on expanding. So,
Don't worry about it.
The amount of experience from just bats gained.
If only they were worth 1 experience apiece.
Right?
But
Welcome to level 20.
and y'all helped some gargoyles reclaim the forge from a Duragar and a Drider who had taken it over. They came from down below in order to create some sort of mechanical horse. It looked like, you know what? I'll go so far as to say that the bicycle has been invented. That's not like a huge...
We have trains, so
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You have a train created by a visionary mechanical maestro. But also, the bike is not that complicated.
no.
What a strange horse.
Right, but this thing had some sort of propulsion system, and it could, like, float around? It was weird, and he was nasty. And his Drider girlfriend was rude and almost hit you with a death curse. Not a killing curse, a death curse. Very different.
A death curse, yep.
Killing curses kill you. A death curse only happens when you inject someone with all the spite of your impending death.
Yeah, that really didn't work out too well for her.
No, it didn't. And
Damn.
you guys broke apart the jet bike.
Yep.
And
Yeah, who's gonna break that news to Harlan? Because he'll be sad.
Harlan was there, I thought.
he was
He was
unconscious.
Yeah, but Harlan's also
He was
unconscious.
unconscious.
Okay.
About to say, he got gut shot and then impaled by the thing.
We're just gonna tell him it blew up. I don't know what you're all talking about.
Seems
Yeah.
I mean, that's not untrue. It did blow up.
It just also
blew up.
survived that.
It blew up after we threw it in a magma tube. And yeah, the Duragar was pretty tough because I decided to give him legendary actions.
Oh. That's how he was doing some of that stuff.
And stone flesh. It's air quotes, stone flesh.
It's stone salve. Same difference.
Oh, all right. I was going to ask you if you had any diamond dust on him, but I guess not.
No, he didn't cast the spell. Stone salve is just a 4,000 gold piece potion thingy, and you put it on yourself, and then you do the thing. I hope that made sense.
Absorb a lot of damage.
He absorbed it. It absorbed the full 150 damage.
Yeah.
You guys fucking put him through the ringer.
Likewise.
True. And Meredith unlocked her prestige class by 1v1ing the Drider.
Which was so badass.
Sure was.
Yeah, that was wasn't the Drider like a CR8?
Yeah, the Drider was like a CR7, CR8, like an 8th level sorcerer who like has spider abilities.
Yeah. Came down from the ceiling. I should have seen that coming, honestly.
Yeah.
Listen, white people never look up.
So did you just say white people never look up?
They don't. We don't.
You're not wrong, but man, do you have to attack us?
Yes.
Used to being the tallest in the room. I ain't gotta look up.
Listen, I'm allowed to make fun of white people, as I am a white people.
Everyone's allowed to make fun of white people.
I'm about to say, I
That's
think
also
true
true.
for everybody. Like, hello, we are the cultural hegemons of the planet. Make fun of me. You can't punch down.
Right? Exactly.
Well, you can't punch down at me for being white. You could punch down at me for being poor. So, you can make fun of people for thinking mayonnaise is spicy, but you can't make fun of them for not being being white trash.
Yeah, you can make fun of them for thinking mayonnaise is spicy, but not being able to afford fancy mayonnaise.
Exactly. You can. That's fucked up. Thinking mayonnaise
That's
is
crossing a
spicy.
line.
That's fucking hilarious. Your culture is garbage. Fuck. There was something. Oh yeah, and Harlan got a new gun.
Yes.
It's
And-
not
and-
fancy, but the thing's fucking indestructible.
Right? It's not fancy. It shouldn't be.
And big news for Cass. Listen carefully, guys. This is a big development. I now have 1 point of DR.
Woo!
Wow.
Wow.
Hey man, every point of DR you get is one step closer to walking into a town and killing everyone.
I mean, yeah, but maybe it shouldn't be.
I don't know. The militia is gonna be a problem. I punch that problem. But yes, so
Monster.
you all drag all your shit and all of your unconscious people out of the forge, and I don't know. Somebody resuscitates Harlan.
Oh, I gave him a potion.
It wasn't enough.
I used a heal spell on him as well, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I had a lot of damage.
No, I think I gave him cure light wounds too on top of that. So I thought that was enough to get him over 0.
Whatever. He chooses to remain unconscious.
He's
I was
like
about to say
sleepy
it may
time.
have been, but I
Fuck you
think that we
guys.
were gonna grab a little bit of rest before heading back out.
hmm
Because we also, grabbed the materials that we came here for. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah, you also found some like journals and stuff. Journals and schematics. Unfortunately, they're in an older dialect of Dwarvish and or Gnomish. Actually, Meredith, are those in your polyglot pile?
Dwarven is, as is Undercommon, but Gnomish is not.
Interesting. Because of your what's the name of your special like know all
True
languages ability?
speaker.
True speaker.
Mhm.
Because you're a true speaker, you can read dead dialects.
Interesting. I can give you a linguistics check.
Sure, that'll help.
Wow, I rolled almost as good as I possibly could. That's a 30.
Okay. So the dwarven notes are not about the tinkering. Mostly the dwarven notes are about the metalworking. It's like, oh, we brought in iron from the mines and we forged it into steel. And we've always said that the steel sings when the hammer strikes it, but we have been noticing that euphemism may be becoming more literally accurate.
That's fascinating.
And you get a lot of information about like how the forge functions. Like it draws magma from the earth via some sort of pumping mechanism that the gnomes created. And they're able to use the magma to do stuff. Like fueling a forge is a difficult business, so they brought magma to them.
Right. And then I found a way to regulate that, allowing them to focus on different aspects of the metallurgy.
Right, and they also like they didn't. One of the things that made forging in the steppe so difficult is the lack of fuel. They were using wood or dung to try to like fuel their enterprises.
Wood, dung, maybe coal if they got lucky in the mine.
Yeah, if you get lucky digging. And at that, this is like ancient. This is like stone tools. Like we got stone shovels and stone picks, and we're digging in hills looking for a lump of coal so we can make a sword.
This advancement is nothing short of divine inspiration. I think
No.
that Professor will be pleased.
Does Meredith share her findings with the class?
Yeah.
Now
Yes,
that
she
is
does.
really interesting.
Oh, good, you're still alive.
Of course I'm still alive. Can't get rid of Bad Penny that easy.
And like, the dwarves speak commonly of like Moradin's guiding hand, but they begin talking about a guiding voice, and it's not Moradin.
So what they're hearing in the metal is probably the Metal Mother. And this was the first place they heard her.
How old is this, Meredith?
I can read
700,
dead
600
languages.
years old.
Centuries. Less than 1,000 years, but close to. I've seen a few texts like this, but obviously nothing so interesting.
Nothing wrong with us keeping a copy.
It would take a long time to copy. Like, this is a gigantic ledger and journal.
It would take days.
Like, you're just
It would be
skimming
hard to
through it.
copy that copy.
You're just skimming through it for the most interesting parts. There is a spell that allows you to copy text like this, but I'm guessing,
I don't know it.
number one, none of you are wizards, and number two, none of you took the most boring spell in the game.
There's actually a really interesting cantrip that lets you do it. But anti-paladins don't get cantrips.
No.
Little Blood Ragers.
I don't think that's a cantrip I get.
I don't think it's on the summoner list now, and I know it's on Stork. And therefore wizard.
Oh, my bad. It's a level 1 spell, but even so. It's a bard and sorcerer spell that allows you to copy 10 pages per cast.
That's awesome.
You
But-
just need to have
wow.
enough blank paper to hold it all. And you turn yourself into a magical copying machine.
That's a lot of first level spells.
It was-
By the power of
invented.
Xerox.
By a wizard named Xerox.
The Infinite Consortium has a hedge wizard named Xerox who's like, this is all I do.
Oh, that's
to be,
good.
To be fair, if you can copy spell books, that's in a different league.
Attempting to use this spell to copy a spell book results in pages of indecipherable code.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
is
don't
that
know if it works.
the Infinite Consortium guy probably could do the copy spellbook thing.
That's true. You're right. Like, he's like, okay, I spent a level 1.5 spell slot in order to get spell books. Am I good or am I good?
That's pretty good. How do you get half slots?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
It's a hedge wizard thing. Hedge wizard ends up like with like 85 first level spells at 20th level. It's stupid.
Fuck.
But I do take one of my parchment sheets and some ink and write down some of the passages that are most poetic, that I like the most.
Well, I'd say dwarven poetry is a rare thing. I suggest you relish it.
I do.
You said that this metal mother chick was like new.
I
Yes.
mean, compared to other gods, maybe.
Or she might not be new at all, but the entity with that name that they gave her is quite new.
Or maybe she's new in the sense that she's been recently discovered but has existed for far longer.
That's a good way of thinking of it.
Well, it should make him, the history professor, happy.
I think it'll make the whole city happy.
Hmm. Then hopefully
might
we
be
can find
surprised.
this armament or weapon that we're looking for.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear what sort of lead we get in return from this professor.
Yes. I hope to hold the sword in my hand. Perhaps I will be able to feel its lost strength.
Can you feel a loss?
Hmm?
Can you feel something that's lost?
We'll find out.
Isn't this supposed to be like some massive two-handed sword?
Yep.
No offense, Mary, you don't strike me as being like a two-handed sword type person.
It's not about that. It's about guidance. If you know the path that someone walked down, it makes it easier to cross it yourself. I don't actually intend to wield it as a weapon. I doubt they would have any such power anymore. But an artifact's an artifact, even if you disenchant it.
It still might awaken something in you.
Exactly.
And that's one reason to find it. The other is because it doesn't belong here.
It belongs in a museum! But, yeah, if there's nothing else, y'all can turn in.
Where are we currently?
You are outside the entrance to the forge.
Okay.
Did we rest for a day in the forge?
It is suggested that you rest outside the forge.
Okay.
There are other things in there.
We did create quite a ruckus, and also our protective injections will be wearing off soon.
That's also true. I totally spaced. It's 130
30
degrees in
degrees.
there.
Right.
But still,
Yep.
waiting outside the door will keep you warm when it gets cold, and it also like gives you. It's unlikely that something down there will climb its way out, which means if something from outside tries to fight its way in, you'll be able to retreat.
We'll pitch the tents.
You've got choke points, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I like that.
A well-strategized campsite.
But you all rest without any commotion.
Level plus con mod.
Hey,
Thank you,
And I
Lord.
can heal some of this con damage, right?
that
One
is
per.
true.
Okay. That's what I wanted.
Sweet.
You can heal
Huh,
one of
I was
them
saying, I've got-
damage.
For
I've got
each of my
strength damage,
characters.
baby.
I've gotten punchier. I'm excited about this.
So, what happened to that bike?
Destroyed.
It blew up.
That's a
Its
shame.
fuel was unstable. We salvaged what we could.
Everything you
It was
said
a
is
real
technically
interesting
true.
piece.
I was about to say, do you want bluff or diplomacy?
That'd be diplomacy.
Harlan believes you.
Right, yeah, no, like,
I would say I don't roll.
right, yeah, I'm not saying that you need to roll it. I'm saying that's what you would roll.
Yeah.
I got a 23. So.
Pretty fucking convincing.
I mean, I am covered in scorch marks from the thing actually fucking blowing up on me, so, like... I think it's pretty convincing.
But that said, we were able to salvage quite a bit of valuable mithril from it. Considering we are in
Ooh.
the city of metal,
Mm-hmm.
we should be able to sell it or find blacksmiths to re-equip us. We deserve something nice.
I think we
Agreed.
should do that. I think we should
Absolutely.
build something for ourselves.
Uh, Never mind.
Of course, we can
So-
always just do a trade too. I mean, yeah, just give them this mithril in exchange for something they already have. That way, we don't
That's
have
true.
to stay in the city as long.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Depending on who holds the sword, we could also use it as purchasing power versus the sword as well.
That's a pretty good point. But I don't think that anyone would trade a bag full of mithril for a artifact. But who knows?
Mm.
I can keep watch for a while. I am still filled with a lot of energy from that fight.
I'll join you.
I'm going back to sleep.
You do that.
And before you even give the answer, he has nodded off.
That poor man. He's lucky he has a thick skull.
Indeed. So what happened with you in there?
Well, I slew a Drider.
Mm.
Creature of the Abyss. Not the part of the Abyss that Holt commands either.
Mm. Right.
It feels
Good.
really good. Yeah. Like I've come into more of my own.
Good for you.
It's like I have a path out in front of me that's not been put there by Nimisa.
I imagine that is comforting.
It is. Now I feel very strongly about what I have to do now, which is I feel less like I'm on the run than I had before, which is good.
Sure. I'm glad for you.
Thank you. You played no small part.
I don't know about all that.
You kept the Durgar off my back. You respected my call to let me fight alone.
That was uncomfortable. Don't do it again. And he chuckles.
I can't promise that.
I know. I understand. So, what do you think of Mary?
Oh, thank you.
Do you think she'll live up to the task?
Who, Mary?
Yes.
Is Mary asleep?
You
I'm
Can-
gonna go with yes.
Can I sense motive to make sure that she is?
You may.
Oh, good. That's a 28.
Her constitution's in the dumpster. She needs to sleep.
Okay. No. No, I don't think she is. I think she thinks that she is. I think she
Mm.
has the capability. But, I mean, who am I to say whether or not a person is worthy of godhood? It's the throne that will decide. Not necessarily us. But I wouldn't follow her.
Do you think she stands a chance of getting ready?
Certainly, given it enough time, but we don't know how much time that we have. And I'm not seeing anyone else coming out of the woodwork yet.
True. What do you think we should do?
I don't like feeling like I don't have a choice. I think that we should pursue these artifacts, and if she doesn't have any reaction to them, we should start looking for someone else who fits the bill. And she should honor that.
Yes, I don't think she would resist that. She seems... She seems, if nothing else, practical.
I'm not sure if practicality and performative compassion is what Marduk is.
I have no idea what he is, unfortunately.
I'm not genuinely sure that she's being as earnest as she thinks she is in becoming a hero.
I agree, it seems like an interesting tension for her. More of a, I'm going to do it because it will piss off Daddy.
And that is exactly what I see. And that is a feeling that I know very, very well.
Do you think that's your own perspective on it is impacting the way you see her?
Undoubtedly. I think it's impossible for me to completely remove my biases.
Well, we'll just do our best to keep our eyes open, I suppose.
Yeah, you're the only person here, I think, that I can talk to honestly about this. So, thank you.
I appreciate it. We're in this together. I mean, our god did show up and ask us in person to do this.
Right.
Isn't that...
Us of all people.
It's so fucking strange to say that out loud. Yet here we are.
Something I thought that we'd never see.
Indeed. Well, we'll just do our best. It will be enough. It has to be.
Meredith just shakes her head. Moose ears, Reynold. My brain is a little fried from 6 hours of tabletop today. What is it that Holt says about enough?
Enough is. I think it's. I don't want someone who can imagine enough.
That's what Meredith says to Durst.
Right, well then, our enough has to be perfection, doesn't it?
Or as good as.
And he kind of goes quiet and just sits with you throughout the rest of the watch, and then whoever comes to take over, then he goes to bed.
I'll take my watch.
Before Meredith goes off to sleep, she says to Cass, Good job in there today.
Same to you.
I was worried when you almost fell down a bottomless pit.
Wasn't a worry. I can handle stuff like that. But for you to go off and fight someone we didn't know on your own, that was pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for honoring my request.
Yeah.
It worked out, I think. I know you don't really approve of where my powers come from, but sometimes you just get a feeling about these things.
It's not approve. It just I don't know, it just seems sort of a lot like what Mom and Dad did. So
There's a
I know,
difference.
yeah, I know you say it's different. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is, are you free?
I chose this. And down there, I used. I took back my agency.
That's good. I mean, that's all I really want for you is to be doing things you want to do for your own happiness. I don't get it. I mean, I know the reason that the reason why Digital's the only one you can talk to honestly about this stuff. She winks at you.
Right.
But just because I don't understand this stuff doesn't mean you can't talk to me about it. Right? I mean, I may look at you and I may roll my eyes. As you know, I roll my eyes a lot.
You're doing it currently.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean you can't talk to me about it. It doesn't mean I don't listen to what you say. Right? I mean, because, you know, I'm not a mushroom. I don't like being kept in the dark. I like to know what you're thinking. And it's not like I go out of my way to try to stop you from doing stupid shit. I mean, it's kind of taken for granted that we both do stupid shit.
That's good. At least we both see that.
So, I mean, it, I think my stupid shit's more fun than your stupid shit, but that's kind of go, you know.
Right.
But you can still talk to me. I mean, just because I don't understand the stuff that you're doing doesn't mean I'm not interested in it. Well, I'm interested in the fact that you're interested in it. It's kind of anyway. Um,
I'm interested in hearing more about where you went after that night with our dad. And I think that we haven't taken any time to actually catch up on where we've been.
yeah, I mean, a lot of
I
it
do
was kind
care.
of great, but not all of it.
Same. I find it funny how close we were to actually meeting up with each other again on several occasions when we were running just parallel to each other.
You were in the wilds?
No, no. When you were coming into Wind City, I was just leaving.
Yeah, we ran in different circles, so I did ask around about you, but I never got any straight answers.
I had a lot of loyal friends. They probably thought you were looking for me for bad reasons. I'm just saying, you probably look much like you do now, like a mercenary.
Yeah, but I'm a cute mercenary.
You are. You are a very cute mercenary. You have
Hmm,
lovely cheekbones.
true. Um, yeah, it's not like I always dress up in armor and weapons when I'm just walking around town. I just dress like someone going out for the evening. Of course, I have certain advantages.
People see what they want to see.
Yeah, just good and it's bad. Sometimes I want people to look at me and see that I'm actually a badass and not some, you know, tiny little chick who could be knocked over by a feather. But once they actually see them a badass, they tend to get really scared of me.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
Yeah. And, that's good and bad. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I have friends who don't know anything about me. Just think I'm another, another person in the city. And I don't tell them. Just go out drinking and dancing and listening to music and going to classes at the university.
You, back in school?
Well, I kind of audit. Um, I don't know, you meet people that way, and some of them are fun. Um, it's the nice thing about auditing is you just sort of come and go as you want, and as long as you can talk to the professors, and they can be reasonable depending upon how you ask them. So yeah, that's
Right.
how I met a lot of people. I like,
That's really nice, actually. I'm happy for you.
well, there are not a lot of mercenaries my age. Well, I mean, I suppose there are, but they're really, really wimpy.
They don't have our unique background.
Yeah, yeah, they break. So yeah, I like hanging out with poets and artists and musicians. I know that's a little wacky given where we came from, but
No, we had no exposure to those things. Of course, you would want to surround yourself with bright and happy people.
oh God, you haven't hung out with very many poets, artists, and musicians. You think they're happy?
No, but they are inspired
That's true.
sometimes. That's what I really meant.
Yeah, yeah. The happy ones don't tend to be very good, but
Something, the pain of channeling angst into creation. Shoots her, waves her hand flippantly.
yeah. Well, actually, I do know a happy one who's really good. At least she tries to be happy.
Sometimes that's enough.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I try to be happy too, but I really missed you. I mean, I didn't miss a whole lot of anything from back home, but I missed you. And I mean, I'm glad you're back. I don't fucking understand what you're going through, but um,
A lot. And none of it is your problem. I mean that
something.
with love.
Your problems are my problems. I may not understand them, and I may not be able to help with everything, but mm, I I have your back no matter what. Even if even if I do make fun of you, uh,
You're the only one who gets to.
basically, yeah. Oh, hey, one other thing.
Hmm.
I know you say he's a waste of skin, but I really like Harlan.
You would.
Okay,
But
that's a useful response.
the thing about Harlan is you are most certainly seeing him at his best. And he could be a lot better.
Mm, well, kind of fun to kick his ass a little bit, so I'll inspire him.
I'd be happy to see that.
Yeah. It's too bad he's so old. I mean,
Please.
it's like the wrinkles kind of makes me want to gag otherwise, you know?
If half the things that I've heard during my time in the brothels are true, Harlan, you would be so bored.
Yeah. But, yeah. He seems like a... God, I almost said straight shooter, and then I thought that... No, that's bad. I shouldn't say that.
No, it's funny. It's good. You should actually tell him that. I think it would make him smile.
But say, shockingly honest. Harlan, the missionary beneath the sheets, leaves some room for Jesus. No, not
I'm sorry for
literally.
putting you on blast.
But I imagine his sexual prowess is pretty plain.
Honestly, the more I play him, the more I realize his preference is he doesn't really care that much about sex. He would much rather pay someone for an evening of literally just company.
Weird
which is
flex,
really,
but
really
okay.
sad.
Hi, I need emotional validation. I'm gonna pay you $200 and you're gonna listen to me all night. All right.
All right.
And you
Like
trust
the saddest possible option.
Dazul.
Yes.
You've always been a better judge of character than me, but...
I
Okay.
trust Sam as well.
Yeah, but he's kind of a dumbass.
Yes. Yes, he is. But he's a dumbass that I understand now.
Okay.
We've got a good bunch here, figuratively speaking.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, definitely tough fighters. Not a whole lot of magic here, I mean, aside from some. But let's hope
That's all
that
right.
won't be...
With enough coin in our pockets, having magic at our disposal will become less of an issue.
Yeah, well, get more coin, we need to get more loot.
Problems for the morning, dear.
Yeah. All right,
Do wake me up if any spiders try to kill us.
I'm signed up, by the way. I mean, I'm still not sure if I believe this whole end of the world stuff. I mean, it's your God telling you, so that's not necessarily someone I trust. But I know you believe it.
More than anything.
Well, I haven't tried to save the world in a few years. I guess I'll try to get back into the business. Last time I did it, well, last time I tried, it kind of made me really, really pissed off with people.
Now that is a story I'd like to hear when I'm more conscious.
People suck. Let's
People
leave it at
do
that.
suck. I missed you too, by the way. That's what my bluff 24 was for.
Doesn't matter. I can't win any of these rolls anyway.
It's for the
Not
peanut
yet.
gallery to know.
Give me some time. I'll crush your spirits later.
Later. That's a tomorrow food. Hopefully I don't have to take a level of fucking exhaustion for staying up all night talking to people.
No.
Okay, thank you.
This campaign isn't about exhaustion.
Only emotional exhaustion.
Right.
Corruption.
Like, I was talking to a coworker about random encounters, and I was like, you know what's cool about them? You can just fucking get rid of them. Like, who cares? Just dumpster that shit.
For some things, I'd say that they're like sort of necessary, but like,
Right, some
are they
scenarios
really?
can make them interesting, and like the deprivation scenario can be fun. But like, I don't know, in this high story, broad concept sort of game, like, oh hey, keep meticulous. Stop talking. Talking actually makes you less effective. Fucking jack off motion.
Precisely.
I'm thinking in the Warhammer game with the entire fucking tribe of orcs we ran into.
You see, now that was a game that was about running into a
Wandering
tribe of
monsters.
orcs. Yes. Because that game was about silly bullshit, and I just wanted to have you guys fight some orcs.
That was a lot of orcs.
It was a lot of orcs.
It was
We
a lot of
almost
orcs.
died.
They almost kicked your ass. Well, they did kick
Campaign
your ass. You
almost ended.
died.
Yeah, they were kind of like really individually didn't have any hit points to speak of, but they did so much damage.
That's orcs. So, is there anything else you'd like to go over before morning dawns?
Please let morning dawn. My voice hurts.
Alrighty
I
then,
think-
morning
I think
dawns. Congratulations, you're all
we
awake.
need-
You eat food.
Yeah, we need to let Harlan get a good night's sleep. So I'll probably wake
Hey,
up.
please.
Tom and
Please, my
Zandru.
strength damage.
Now, is there anything else that you'd like to do before you guys get back to Ankara?
I want to swing by that bar we went to.
Oh yeah. That thing with the special glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, piss.
But now it's like, oh my god, what did I do?
That is definitely what I am experiencing right now.
This is your problem for having random bouts of genius creativity
That's what I get.
that you subsequently forget.
Right. Gave you the map, Nox keys, tools, Knolls. What the? That's weird.
They drank out of skull cups. I drank out of a bourbon cup.
Right. Yes. Okay.
They were very drunk. They woke up in bed together.
Right. Were you guys?
You had to
You
drink it
put
out
us
of a.
there.
You had to drink it out of a curly straw, or there would be consequences.
Right. There were goofy straws.
It's coming back to you. No proprietor.
Right. But I did not write down the name of this tavern nor the name of the town it was in.
That's okay. I also
Hold
didn't
up.
write those things down.
Let me
I was
check my
about to
notes.
say, we have Cap in the party, so
Cap's not infallible, but Cap will try.
But he's the next best thing.
True. I could check over my own goddamn videos.
The crossed
Didn't-
candles.
That sounds about right.
I didn't re-listen to a couple of Septemport 1-1s.
There's a few that I go back to and rewatch all often.
Right, because I showed off the marshy territory, and I was like, ooh. Right. So I don't remember what did the drink of the crossed candles do?
It gave Harlan a vision of his horse, or
Or
There were
more
two
accurately, it
two
failed
saves.
to give him a vision
Right.
of his horse.
Yeah, it was two saves. There was a fortitude save that Meredith failed, and so
Yep.
Meredith just went bump. That was an intentional failure, if I recall correctly.
it sure was.
And then there was a wisdom save
Yes.
that Harlan failed, and that you said that led to a vision,
Yes.
kind of like another death vision, like from when we were in the graveyard.
Hmm.
Because he was drinking Grateful Dead.
Mhm. The bourbon just made me very talkative.
It made you particularly hard boiled. No. The bourbon made you. It turns you into an asshole.
It made you explain stuff.
Yes, it turns you into a mansplainer.
About things that you didn't understand, like wild magic.
Yes,
Well, she understands a little bit.
but not as much as someone else might. And if someone else had been there, to have been like, actually, you're wrong. You'd have been like, excuse me, I'm a professional. Sorry, the assholes have ruined Scotch. But yes, you go back to the crossed candles as you retrace your path.
That strikes me as more of a Scotch than a bourbon thing, telling you the truth.
It's that exact attitude which makes it the bourbon thing.
And proven own point.
I'm not drinking bourbon at the moment. Actually, I haven't had bourbon in months.
So long.
It's a perfect time to get back in it.
But Harlan, what did you want to do with the crossed candles?
To try their whiskey.
Well, so you guys cross back over. The gnolls have moved on. Nothing any of you guys did. They just move. Literally, greener pastures and all that.
Oh, it's too bad. They were nice company.
And you end up going back to the town, to the crossed candles. Harlan, do you consume wacky whiskey?
I sure do.
Give me a fortitude save, and then give me a will save.
You got it. Let's see. A 15 fort. And a 17 will.
You turn into the Johnny Cash's Hurt music video.
I tip my hat down real low.
You feel so old and so tired. You used to be so strong, and that strength has run its course.
That's really fitting considering I still have quite a lot of strength damage.
Maybe you'll get one more shot. One more chance to make things right. But only if you try really hard. It's going to be the hardest thing you ever do. It's going to take more effort than anything you've done in your life because you're all but spent.
But if you're good, you only need one.
And then you black out. Like you give this super sorrowful monologue. Oh God. Take your pick, tears and rain, whatever. But just like Harlan turns into a depression machine. It sounds he's been listening to nothing but The Cure for the past 2 weeks.
I've seen things you people can't imagine.
Jin this time, and we're going to take it slow.
Oh boy, give me a fortitude save and a will save.
Wait, what's Meredith trying?
Jin.
Ah.
Fortitude save. Oh, good. I have to get a calculator out because I can't add two-digit numbers together. That's a 29 fort. 8. And a 27 will.
Alrighty then. You feel very flammable?
Huh.
Your temperature is up.
Noted. It's like I never left the forge.
Like you're breathing steam, you're feeling fever heat. If someone tossed a match into your piss, it would ignite.
I've got to take this armor off.
Dear God, you do. Like, you're not baking in it, but like heat haze is coming off of her armor.
Do you need help?
That would be appreciated, actually.
I help.
Durs!
Yep.
That armor is too fucking hot. You need some gloves or something.
I grab it anyway. Give me some sweet, sweet burn damage.
But you gotta grab it, and Sam grabs your arm, and he offers you his other injection needle that he bought.
Thanks. Inject myself and then help
Endure
remove
elements
the
will
armor.
be enough to suppress the sensation. But you come away and your fingers are covered in blisters.
That's fine. I fast heal them.
It's true.
But it does hurt for a few moments.
Like, Meredith is coughing steam.
You all have interesting habits, he says. He has not drank anything, nor will he.
Well, I thought that... I didn't think this would happen.
Well, yeah, you gotta be careful with the raw spirits. They're just about as rough as you can get.
I see. Any advice, dear bartender?
Drink lots of water.
Please. Just keep the pictures coming.
Like, you can feel it boiling down your throat.
Maybe a bath?
It's
An
not a
ice
bad
bath,
idea.
maybe.
And you know, Cass just sort of pokes you. It's like you could really make the water warm too. It'd be nice.
It would be nice. Are you hinting at something?
Well, I mean, I love hot baths.
I'm just saying, human hot tub.
Sure. Fuck it.
Oh, let me finish. I think Cass got some port. She wanted something sweet.
Port. Well, give me a fortitude save and a will save.
Jeez.
I have no idea what port's gonna do. Dirty 20 for the fortitude,
You
Nice.
do not black out.
and an 18 on will.
You experience the sensation of sheer desperation. Everything is a life and death matter.
This has to happen right fucking now.
We gotta cool Meredith down right now!
Let's get her in the bath.
Quickly, quickly, quickly!
I'm fine. I'm not going to die. It's just uncomfortable.
We're all gonna die someday.
God, Harlan.
Rather than later.
He was
Would you
unconscious.
like me to speed it up for you?
Please.
It wouldn't even be fun.
I mean, Harlan, what's the point? Fast or slow? You'll die when you're supposed to. The sheer cosmic injustice in the world is so great. The entire world has been designed before you. You'll die when the world is good and ready for that to happen.
And nothing we can do to change that fate.
You're not sure which is worse. The ignorance of feeling like you have free will, or the knowledge that you know that that's a lie.
That's so stupid. You hear yourself, right?
No. Right now, Harlan is
No.
incapable of self-awareness.
He is looking very seriously at the bottom of his glass.
If I try to take the empty glass, is he going to stop me?
Why would he? What's the point?
Cool, I put a glass of water in his hand.
Why would he? What's the point?
It's
At this
warm.
point, it'd be hot water.
Yeah.
True.
It boils.
This water is
Yeah.
piss warm by the time he starts drinking.
Oh,
Tea.
No, he deserves lukewarm water.
I was about to say, Meredith, do you find a bathtub to climb in?
Yes.
You turn into a hot tub.
Nice.
Oh, we need to get the recipe for this. It's important. It's really important that we get the recipe. We can make a lot of money off of it.
You don't need the recipe, we'll just come back here.
No,
If
you
I
don't
ever-
understand, Meredith. If we don't get the recipe, we're all going to starve and die.
Then I guess Harlan's prediction about inevitability will come true.
Ooh, that's not good.
Dear Christ, you all are just.
We should-
Disasters?
We should stop drinking here. This is not a good place to drink.
The
Y'all are
proprietor of the
making
craft-
choices.
The gnomish proprietor says, I couldn't disagree more. This is great. Everything's working exactly as it's supposed to.
You get free entertainment, and we get effects.
You get
I
totally
am not
fucked up.
entertained. I'm concerned for all of your well-beings.
Zaudry, you're telling me you don't want to get in this warm bath right now?
Zadru probably would.
Like, Zadru ejects himself from your body and is, like, slithering towards the bathtub, and he's looking back at you like, can I? Do I get in?
Yeah, you're your own fucking snake, dude.
Sweet. He uses his big, meaty hands to climb in, and he's just chilling in this bathtub.
I
Fucking
forgot you had
disturbing.
hands! I forgot you had hands!
You're about to get groped by a snake. How do you feel?
Oh,
Hold on. I'll only grope you if you ask me to.
I'm not asking you to.
I
I'm
didn't
fine,
think so.
thank you. I'm just sharing some heat that I seem to have in excess.
Yeah, you're running, what's the boiling temperature of water?
Isn't it like
212
12?
degrees Fahrenheit.
100 degrees Celsius.
Oh, makes sense. Okay, never mind. The water isn't boiling. It's just very hot.
Yeah. Hot tubs don't boil, otherwise people would die really quickly.
No, you're only running like 120 degrees.
I'm
They
glad
look
I'm
like
not a
they boil.
human. My brain would be melting.
What's a little brain damage between friends? And I mean, alcohol.
can I
always
share a little
causes
bit-
brain damage.
Childhood trauma with you guys.
Sure.
I'm Italian, so Christmas Eve is the big dinner, and it usually involves lobsters.
Oh
no.
uh-oh.
And so the way in which you prepare a lobster is you throw them live into boiling water. But the thing that happens is the more lobsters you throw in, the cooler the water gets. So the
Yeah.
lobsters on top are still alive in the kind of really scaldingly hot but not quite boiling water. So
Oh,
as a kid,
no.
I just remember like seeing the lid of the pot getting knocked off and the lobster clawing itself out of the pot desperately, and my mother shoving it back in and slamming the lid back down.
Oh my god.
I'm also fairly certain that you're not supposed to throw lobsters in an already boiling pot. I thought you were supposed to put the lobsters in a not boiling pot and then boil them in it.
I thought you were supposed to take a knife and kill them first,
No.
and then boil
There it
them.
is. There it is.
Yeah, it depends on the method you're using.
Yep. You could definitely boil lobsters alive. That's the old school.
Right. I could kill it first, but that would mean that I would need to watch myself kill it and acknowledge that I killed it. If I throw it in the pot of boiling water, if it can't escape, I can't see it dying. So, I mean, like...
They're supposed to die instantly, but again, yeah.
So my thought of, or how I thought it worked is if you boiled them, like while they were in the not boiled water, like if you put them in the pot and then started to boil it, that they would fall asleep or like whatever. But that's
You
just
can
what I
also
heard.
you can also freeze them, like not freeze them solid, but you can put them to sleep in the freezer and then boil them. There's a lot of different methods.
There are
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
ethical ways to kill a lobster. We're doing none of them.
Yeah.
Just bear in mind, we're talking about traditional Italian cooking, so a certain amount of sadism goes in there just as part of the course.
As a treat.
Yeah. So I do remember that sometimes when I go into a hot tub, it's like, oh,
That's horrific,
Maybe one
and I'm
day
so
you'll be the
sorry.
fucking lobster crawling out of the...
yep.
Makes me think of like a Final Destination death, like the fucking tanning bed.
Yeah, if you run into people who grew up in the Depression, they're freaking ruthless. So, and it's like, kill an animal, no problem.
Right? Because if you didn't eat, so...
All right, sorry for the digression, guys.
No, it's fine. It's important for us to understand the ethics of murdering lobsters.
Jeez.
This could be vitally important later. You don't know what I'm going to subject you to. I'm just
We
saying.
all really just in a pot of boiling water, waiting to be consumed by whatever thing is greater than us in this world.
I mean, something tossed you in the pot. There's always a bigger beast.
Dear Christ, Harlan.
Drink the water, or I'll give you something to be depressed about.
He drinks the water and grimaces as he does it, like he's still drinking that hard whiskey.
It burns going down. Not literally, but
Oh my God.
the sensation of life that it brings you is painful. You're like, oh man, I'm drinking fucking the water of life. I'm further away from the void than I've ever been.
And also further away from God.
Every day we drift further away from God's light. Anyway, so...
a really punchy group tonight.
What an evening.
Unless you have any more dark pontificating, y'all go to sleep.
Jesus.
Alright, you all go back through the marshlands and end up in Ankara. 3 days have passed.
Okay.
3 days from the bar or 3 days in total?
3 days total. So, like, from...
Okay.
4 days from the forge back to Ankara.
Okay, so I am... Zod's got one fucking negative thing left. Thank
So-
God.
3 full nights rest.
4
full
full
thing.
nights rests.
Ah, okay. All right. In that case, I probably.
Don't ask me how that works out. I don't care.
Doesn't matter. 3 was all I needed.
And fully healed. Hell yeah.
This has not yet become a game about counting days.
Not yet.
I'm not
Not
saying
yet.
it is, and I'm not saying it isn't, but, you know.
Just please give me a ping when it does become that.
Welcome back to Ankara, the city of Chrome.
The city of Chrome.
Shall we go see our friend?
Yes, Professor Quapip Wobbleblock.
I can't. Jesus.
It's a hell of a lot better than Dr. McNuffles, okay?
Well, my dyslexia almost got in the way, and I almost gave him a different name.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. Right. One of the games I played in, we were trying to get these guards dental care so that we could get them some information, and the only dentist we could find was Dr. Oracular's Dentist Spectacular. And
I love
Dr. Oracular's whole thing was to give people more teeth.
Oh no!
It's just like a goblin who was just like, yeah, you need more teeth. We're going to shove some more teeth in there. And they created this tooth tonic that caused calcium deposits to grow teeth on people's skin.
No.
The worst.
Well, when the old ones go bad, you got more in there to replace them. So.
Right.
Christ.
That was their exact thought.
Oh my god.
You only have one row of
It's
teeth.
like a shark.
Right.
Yeah.
You only have one row of teeth. You know what would be better? 2 rows of teeth.
Need more teeth.
I mean,
In a sense, they're not wrong.
Right.
That would be better.
And like, if any of them rot and fall out, you got more, and you can come back to me. Like, they had no actual like dental medicine. Like, they didn't know.
They just gave you more teeth
I mean,
instead of
to
fixing
be
them.
fair, for most of human history, we didn't.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So like, their only solution for my tooth hurts is, well, we'll yank it out and grow a new one. And toss some more in there so that so it takes less time for you to come back.
I wish that was how stuff worked.
If only.
That would make going to the dentist a lot easier. Just yank it out and make me grow a new one.
Well, I mean, the process is excruciatingly painful.
Well, it's painful, but it's like in and out. Like
That's
just
true.
give me the injection,
Like
I
pull
mean-
out the old tooth, and then like let me leave.
the tooth growing solution was pretty fucking quick. Like, you would regrow a tooth in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, last year you and I were both in like dental hell for a while, weren't we?
Yeah.
Oh
Yup.
my god.
Glad
Yours
that's over.
lasted longer, but I did have a root canal where the numbing agent didn't work at all. That was-
Right.
They never know how much stuff to give me.
They do
They
not.
gotta
Pretty
they gotta-
sad.
It's because you're a ginger
I know.
and you're just too powerful.
They gotta stick me like 3 times for anything to take effect. It's
I
terrible.
kept track during my initial appointment, and it was a very long appointment. It was about 6 hours, and I received 18 Novocaine shots.
Oh wow. Okay.
Welcome to
Oh.
being a ginger.
You win. You win. Do you want your gold star?
I do want my gold star. Where is it?
Okay.
He was very brave. He had a lot of work done.
Yep.
I just the
And he
worst
was
part
so
about
brave about it.
the worst part is not the pain for me. It's the fact that sometimes you have to taste tooth dust.
Yeah,
God,
tooth dust is pretty fucking bad.
We all know the taste.
The smoke,
Yeah.
the kind of smell of it too, like burning enamel.
The tooth dust. We've all tasted it.
The tooth dust.
Right, the tooth dust. We've all tasted.
Uh,
Is our friend at his office?
Yes.
Okay.
Reynolds chooses not to add a level of realism to this game with having the professor not fucking be there at his appointed office hours.
No, just gonna skip over that.
This is a power fantasy.
Right.
This is the problem with Chris as a DM pidge. Is that basically he would have the professor not be there, you know?
And just be somewhere else, not like captured or like
Yeah,
anything like that. No, they just
Like he's getting a cup of coffee.
yeah. Well,
And then he went home, and he
Just
won't be here next
anywhere
week.
He's
but
on
his
sabbatical.
office.
He's on sabbatical. He left town.
Oh, God.
I knock on the door as I enter the office, and I'm like, "Excuse me, Professor. We're back."
Yes, it's you all. Yes. Come back in. How was your search?
Fruitful.
Really?
We have these.
Did you find them?
We did.
Oh,
I take out the
goodness
stack of journals
gracious.
and a copy of the notes that I took.
Well, oh my goodness. Like he pours over it all very quickly, and he's like, well, this all seems to look legitimate. Either you actually got the real deal, or you made some convincing forgeries. Either way, it suits my purposes. I was thinking that I should stretch my legs. It might be time for a field trip.
I do love field trips.
And as some new students, perhaps you'd like to join me.
On a lovely tour, yes.
Oh, great.
Fantastic. Let me jury rig you up some banana boats and some student IDs. And like he gives you all, like he takes out this whatchamajig that flashes some lights in your face, and he plugs them into a doohickey that prints out some little laminated cards, and they've got very confused images of you on them.
That's a fun trick.
Congratulations, you're now students of the university for 24 hours.
That's all we need.
That's plenty of time.
Now
Welcome to school.
they all say, welcome to school! University expires! And, like, it's literally one calendar day away from right now.
Does it have like a digital like countdown?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It just has an expiration date, which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
And he's like, now then, come with me. Let's go to the university. I can pull some strings.
Yeah, we go with him. Sure.
Oh yeah.
Cross
for
some
sure.
wires, if you know what I mean. Now then, welcome to the welcome to the Museum of Ankaran History, a venerable institution that's existed here for nearly 2 decades. And he goes on and on and on and on. Everybody give me another
as
raw
me.
constitution check.
Constitution, you say?
I do.
Oh, just Constitution, not a con save.
And not a fortitude save, a raw constitution roll.
Oh, boy.
Does before you count that as does this like endurance?
Yes.
that-
If you have the endurance feat, it would count towards this.
Okay. I thought I had something like that.
I think that might be your other character.
Yeah, but also I thought that yeah. Okay. Never mind. I don't.
Okay. So Derzul, funnily enough, Derzul and Meredith are the only two who are able to keep going.
Oh my
Cass,
lord.
Psalm, and Harlan all fall asleep before they can make it.
Like we fall asleep while we're walking.
Like you're walking through the museum and he's talking and the drone just keeps going and eventually you just sort of like step
We're at a
towards
bench.
the wall and hold yourself up and just fucking fall over, slowly sinking to the floor until eventually your eyes close and they don't open again.
Don't mind our friends. They're just exhausted. It was a long trip.
Oh, what? I don't know what you're talking about. It was just the two of you, right? I wasn't
Yes.
paying attention. Anyway, as I was saying...
Dear God.
And now, the cornerstone of the museum. The Blade of Marduk. The, left-handed blade, to be precise.
Oh, did Mary make her save? Is Mary
Yes,
there?
she did succeed. and another scholar approaches. And she's just like, Dr. Wobbleblog, great to see you again. Oh, we have some coffee in the lounge if you'd like some. Oh, yes, I'd love to have some caffeine. Nothing puts a zip in my step like, and he wanders off, at this point literally talking to himself.
Huh.
Dr. Wobbleblock found ahead. He mentioned that you wanted to see the sword. I don't know what you're here for, but if you mean to take it, I'll fight you with my dying breath. But besides that, its history belongs to all of us.
Good to hear. You said they had the left-handed blade.
Yes. The right-handed blade was purchased by Janam. We found that sort of symmetry to benefit our society.
I can understand it.
And then Mary pipes up and says, "Can I hold it?" And this archaeologist is like, "Excuse me?
Excuse me.
May I hold it?" Okay. And she unlocks the cabinet, and it lets out a wheezing hermetic seal. And Mary reaches out and takes it by the handle, gives it a couple swings, and looks very upset.
Oh.
It's a forgery.
What?
It's a fake. And the archaeologist is like, "Excuse me?"
Now that's interesting.
You can tell. And like Mary starts freaking out, like running her hands along the blade, and she's like pointing out
Minute flaws.
like there's a little minute flaw, like right here. There's a chip in the blade. You can't chip one of Marduk's blades. It's an artifact weapon. They cannot break. They cannot be broken. And like breaking down and degenerating into like a frenzied religious screed, talking about all of the various imperfections in this weapon. Just like, here, the crossguard's wrong. It needs to be longer at the side, and it curves down. It doesn't curve down. It curves up because it's meant to catch swords like that, not deflect them away. Because you don't deflect them away, you catch them. And the gems are wrong.
I'm going to try to ease the blade from her grip.
Wake us up.
Yes,
the ramp?
you hear like the screaming and calling, and just like, what?
What the fuck is going on? Where are we? Oh yeah, right.
Ult's over.
Oh,
Mary, let it go. Let it go.
let's go find. That sounds like Mary.
It's just, what happened? And the archaeologist is just like shrugging, like, I don't know, and I don't know what you're talking about. As near as we can tell, that's legitimate. And she's just like, yes, as near as you can tell.
I'm afraid you were likely lied to. My friend here is rather an expert.
Right,
Well-
yes, of course. And let me guess, you'd be willing to buy that off of our hands at a bargain.
No, we want nothing to
Absolutely
do with
not.
it.
Okay. May I have it back? And Mary just
Yes.
like hands it to her like, this is trash. I don't want this. Thanks. This is useless. What the fuck?
So Ben
Oh.
here in this case.
What was that, Harlan? You cut off the first half?
How long has this sword been here? Like here physically in this particular case?
We bought it 28 years ago at the Holy Guard auction.
And
Well-
it's been here the whole time.
No, there were a few years where we studied its metallurgical properties, and then we brought it back. Well, and
What
then
did
we
you
brought it here.
determine?
What kind of
From
detailed
your-
notes did you take on the metallurgical properties of it?
She rattles off some junk. Like, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like immaterial, like metallurgical knowledge. Like, oh, it's made out of this much steel and this much copper and this much magic, and they analyzed it on a material level.
With those, with that analysis, would Mary and Harlan be able to determine if what they originally looked at was the correct blade?
Well, here's what you can do. Like, you bring that up, and Mary's like, actually, run this through. And she's like, that would take days. And Mary is just like, okay, what you have here might be a forgery. And if it is, and you don't figure it out before I get someone else to figure it out, you're going to look like a fucking moron. And if that happens, you're going to get fired. And if you check it right now, and you discover that it's a fake, you're going to be a fucking hero.
She's got a point.
And the little archaeologist is like, I can take a couple of days. I'll send you guys a runner. Stay at the... No, Don John, save me. I'll find you at the Hellhound.
Fitting.
We'll be there.
Your type place, Meredith.
Oh, I hope so.
I suppose we'll see, won't we?
That thing's kind of gaudy.
And like Mary looks at you and says, "That's the problem. It looks gaudy."
It looks gaudy, not gaudy, you know?
Right. Yes, we...
God
very clever.
damn it, Arlen.
And Harlan gives a very pained smile. He's not quite as upset as Mary, but he looks like this is throwing him for a loop.
And you guys can do some shopping if you wish.
Yes. Chiefly, I would like to find a place to offload these gemstones that we have, just to turn them into gold pieces officially.
You can definitely find a money changer who can do that.
Or platinum. For convenience sake.
I think they'll take 2%.
2%. Okay. Give me a moment. I'll calculate it.
Yeah.
And then we can deal with the whatever we want to do with the mithril now too. Then, huh?
Right.
Yep. You guys do a little bit of that while I do this.
Like, you guys can melt that down and sell it, or you can sell the individual pieces, or you can turn it into something if you wanna use the material.
How long would it take to reforge this stuff, I wonder?
A couple of days.
Hmm.
Isn't it so fortunate that you have a couple of days sitting around?
Yes, amazing that.
Convenient.
Oh man, wacky, wild. Who wants a mithril chain shirt? Mithril breastplate? Come on!
Mithril breastplate for Cassandra.
I'll say, let me look up the Mithril chain shirt stats.
It's pretty good, because you don't get an armor check penalty anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, someone would like one of those if we have enough material for it.
About to say, I'm gonna say that you've got enough mithril for, I'm gonna say 2 suits of heavy armor, 4 suits of medium armor, or 8 suits of light armor.
2 suits
I
of
don't
light
wear armor.
Damn right you don't.
And neither does Mary, so we could do 1 heavy, and then for Meredith, and then Meredith doesn't need it because she's got her health.
No, I don't have it yet.
No,
Oh, okay, so you would need it?
on that.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay, so we could do 1 heavy, and then 1. Does Cass do a medium or a heavy? Or a light?
Probably medium.
Okay, so we could do 1 medium,
Breastplate.
1 heavy, and then 1 light, and have stuff left over. or 2 light and then have stuff left over. Right?
Yeah, you would have enough left over then for 2 heavy. I'm sorry. Right, 2 heavy, 4 medium. Yeah, you would have enough left over for 4 light or 1 medium. I'm sorry, 4 light,
2 medium.
mediums or 1 heavy. Wait, shit, no, that doesn't work out.
Okay, breastplate. I think I guess we'll get a small armor check penalty. I use. Is enchantment on the table here?
Yeah, but the enchantments you're gonna get aren't strong. You could only get raw plus bonuses. And that's going to be like the strength of metallurgy. Like it stacks with magical bonuses. It doesn't stack with, but it counts as magical bonuses for the purposes of enchantment.
Okay.
So if you got +5 metallurgical mithril chain shirt, you couldn't put any more plus bonuses on it. But at that point, it's not magical, it's the power of the metal, blah blah blah. It still doesn't work in an anti-magic field, it's just flavor. But any of those other fine fancy enchantments, they can't do those here in Ankara.
I just need some like actual armor class.
Okay, 4317 minus 86.3.
Oh, actually, I'm in medium right now, so we could do.
How much does it cost, Ronald, given that we're supplying the materials?
So let me look up the material cost. Special materials. Who wants some bone armor?
And is it like essentially just like chain shirt, except it doesn't have a check penalty since it's mithril?
Yeah.
Is that?
And also, you have the weight.
It's the dex bonus goes up too, I believe, with mithril. It gives you a better.
It goes up by 2.
Yeah.
And the spell failure chance is reduced by 10%. Who wants a mithril buckler? Everybody gets one! Proficiency, unnecessary. But it says it costs 4,000 gold pieces to apply to medium armor, so I'm going to say you'd spend 1,500 in labor. Just because working it is difficult.
And that's for just a regular unenchanted mithril.
Yes, so it would be 1,700 gold pieces to turn the mithril into a mithril breastplate, for instance.
Okay, so we're definitely making one full plate for Meredith, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be expensive.
It's 3,000 gold pieces total, right? Or are you in something other than full plate? What do you want?
I'm in medium right now, but I can just give me a minute, please.
Yeah. So a suit of mithril full plate would cost like 4,000.
No, it's 9,000.
Well, regular full plate is 1,500 GP, and if it's 1,500 labor, it's 3,000.
But it's not 1,500 labor across the board. The item cost modifier for heavy armor made out of mithril is 9,000.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
It's big expensive. Party funds have been updated. Everything's been liquidated, and I have removed 2% from the exchange of gemstones,
Marvelous.
leaving us at just under 14k in party funds.
So technically, I'm taking more off for labor because it's supposed to cost 9,000 for parts and labor. So I'm chopping that in half for parts.
Oh, we still have a gold ingot. My bad.
That's also true.
400 plus.
And then, of course, this is the item cost modifier, so you still need to pay for the armor itself. So it's 1,500 for full plate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
different.
you don't have to pay for Masterwork. Masterwork is included in the item cost modifier for Mithril.
Would you be better off just getting enchantment instead of Mithril? Because that also reduces armor check. And you don't have to worry about speed or anything else.
I do. I need another level before that stops mattering.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm
maybe
just
we
I,
just have
I,
a
I have a
slow...
I have a unique opportunity to acquire the armor here, but I don't earn the privileges that come with wearing it until next level.
Yes.
Well, if you didn't, so if you're gonna, so, because you're gonna get Hell Knight plate later, right?
No, I don't get it. I have to acquire it.
Oh, so you still have to like pay for it and shit.
Yes.
So like we could
To
just
earn
say,
the right to wear it.
well, no. So what I'm saying is like if that's gonna be better for you than Mithril, then we can just save your
A
cost
ton.
and then get yours when you get your Hell Knight plate, right? Like when you can acquire your Hell Knight plate next level or whatever, then we can get yours then, unless you want upgrades now.
I can deal with not having an upgrade now. Honestly, you could just liquidate the Mithril for my funds, and we can use it later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Make what you need, and I will use my cut later. Because technically, according to the prestige class, I don't earn the right to wear Hell Knight plate until I'm level 2.
Sorry, forgot.
The gold ingot has been converted into the party funds, so now we have 14.3k.
Boom.
Beautiful. So, what is the Mithril chain shirt cost?
So the Mithril chain shirt cost for the labor of creation is going to be 650 gold pieces.
Okay.
Plus actually buying the base chain shirt.
Nope, that includes.
Oh,
the
that's
chain shirt.
everything.
Yep,
Oh,
it's
okay.
500 plus 150 for the chain shirt, and then you're good.
What about getting it enchanted for them? I mean, plus
then
one.
That plus one's going to be another 1,000, so 1,650 is a plus one Mithril chain shirt, baby.
So 2 plus 1 Mithril chain shirts and 1 plus 1 Mithril breastplate.
Sounds good.
And the Mithril breastplate comes out to
3,700, so 3,700.
3,700. Okay, it's more than I thought, but wouldn't it be 2,700? It's only plus 1. It's 1,000 on top of 1,700.
Well, so the medium armor increases plus 4,000. So
yeah.
So it's 2,000. So for that, okay, because it's half.
So it's
half the cost.
3,200. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Oh God, no! My calculator.
It's a total of 6,500.
Yep, that is correct.
Okay.
And y'all got some fucking wacky stacks.
While we're shopping, I am going to liquidate my old Masterwork chain shirt, and I am going to see if I can find a good compound bow.
Ooh, you can absolutely find a fancy compound bow. What level of composite do you want on it?
I doubt I'm using it very much when I'm raging, so plus 4.
Alrighty then.
I mean, a 4 strength. Yeah, I think that's like 500 gold pieces or something to that effect.
That
And I
sounds
can
about right.
I can fish that out of my.
Cost more. See text. Yep. Each point of strength bonus granted by the bow adds 100 penalty to low strength applied to damage rolls. Okay. So yeah, that would be 400.
Out of party funds?
No, I'll pay for that one out of my stuff.
I'm about to say, and what you get is a fancy schmancy like carbon compound bow. This is not made out of wood.
Okay.
Which means it's more difficult to break and can be wielded as a quarterstaff.
Very simple question for someone that hasn't played Pathfinder in too long. If the Mithril chain shirt is +1, does that add +1 to my AC?
Yes.
It does.
It does.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
That's just, I think that just, yeah, it just adds to the armor bonus.
Okay, cool.
Can they add enhancements to existing weapons here?
Depends on the enhancement you want.
Just a +1.
Oh, yeah. They can fortify the metallurgical properties of the weapon.
I impress upon them the importance of this weapon to me as I hand over my blood iron halberd.
Got it. They won't muck with it too much or fuck around with anything. If you
Cool.
slap 2,000 gold pieces in their hands, they'll treat her real nice and purty.
Good.
How much would a keen enchantment cost?
Keen is actually a service they'd be able to provide. Just because the way Keen works. Just like, we took it and we made it sharper. Like,
And maybe some alchemical silver plating on my falchion?
that's doable. So Keen is a +1 bonus, so...
It's already a +1 falchion, just so.
Right, so that would raise the cost to 4,000 total, so toss another 2,000 on it. And then
Okay.
alchemical silver, that's a special material.
We have 5,800 left in the party funds.
Alchemical silver would cost 180 gold pieces.
Alright, so alchemical silver is easy enough, but the 2,000, I probably have already burned through my share of the party funds. So, let's see how much money I have.
Oh, and I should mention, mithril weapons count as silver for the purposes of overcoming damage reduction.
Oh,
Hey, baby.
Because I love you.
That's
Thank
wonderful.
you, Mr. DM.
Does Harlan need to replenish his ammunition?
I'm about to say, I'm not...
Yeah.
I know he's got a fair amount of bullets left, but this would be a good place to buy some more.
Right, like, this is a good place to buy more, and I've got my, bandolier that can hold 100 bullets, so...
yeah, and you can borrow some space in Sam's bag too. So
Right, I'm gonna go to
how
Bullet
much-
Costco.
How much left of like shit do we have on the Reaper bike?
So if you bought 2 suits of light armor and 1 suit of medium armor, then you've basically got...
a lot.
yeah, you've got quite a bit. 1 suit of medium... okay. You've basically got enough left over for 2 more suits of medium... like, 4 suits of light, 2 suits of medium, or 1 suit of heavy.
Okay, but like I was talking about like weight-wise, how much do you want to consider that?
How much did you have before?
It was two. We had
300. We had
it was-
300 total pounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. We had 100 in the bag, and Drazul and I were each carrying 100.
Yeah.
So... well, you ended up using about half of it. So you've got 150 pounds left, let's say.
Okay.
For the sake of simplicity... look, you used half of it! Shut up.
We could keep it for Meredith if she wants to.
Can your Hell Knight armor be made out of
Yeah.
mithril? Oh, okay, cool. So then we can save it. Sure.
If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
also,
plans.
mithril weapons and armor are immune to the rust monster.
Yeah, chick can't rust.
I also have a question while we're in this city specifically over the course of our couple of days. So when I was building Harlan, we talked about that jury isn't a known metal.
What isn't a known metal?
His gun isn't a known
His
metal.
revolver.
Yes.
Yeah. Can he use part of his university pass or something to go to a metallurgist and see what his gun's made out of?
You mayst have. Oh shit. There was some wacky metal I wanted to make it out of, but I don't remember what it was.
Aluminum.
Aluminium?
Or titanium. Is actually kind of reasonable.
About to say, I think titanium is what I was going for. Like, could you make a gun out of titanium? Is that something you would want to do? What the fuck is Julian? Oh, no. Don't want that. Whale sinew? Yeah, you got a gun made out of whale sinew.
What are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do? Oh, yep, there are titanium guns. That's totally a thing. It's a little overkill, but you can do it. Yeah, the gun's made out of titanium. It's hard as fuck.
That makes sense.
That would explain why this thing's been able to go through the ringer.
I have a question.
Shoot.
So I forgot to take my level 7 feat. Could Psalm find a place to buy a gun here and then take exotic weapon proficiency firearms?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so how much would a... Okay, so let me
Depends on
figure out...
what kind of gun you want.
Yeah, let me figure out what kind of gun I want.
Because they definitely sell a lot of guns, and like you're not going to be able to get anything automatic, but like you could get a one-shot like shotgun or like a one-shot bolt-action rifle for pretty cheap.
I mean, does Sam just want to use the
Marlin special.
Marlin special?
Well, do you not want that over jury? Because that one's not gonna fail.
Yeah, but you can't.
True,
There's a lot of.
but you can't do fancy shit with the Marlin special, and fancy shit's what Harlan does.
Like there are a lot of what's the special gunslinger thing? Feats.
Deeds.
Deeds. You can't. There are a lot of deeds you can't do with the Marlin special.
Oh, okay, I see.
Well,
then if that's the case and you would be willing to part with it, then
Absolutely, yeah.
What is that?
So it's
considered?
It's basically it's just a regular 6-shot revolver, like very much the same as what jury does, but you just can't do any fancy deeds with it.
Right. Okay.
Like,
and there's no chance of misfire.
No, this thing doesn't misfire.
Okay. And it's got the same range?
Yes.
Okay. Then I don't have to pay for anything then. 20... Except for bullets. But then I'll buy... How many bullets did I get with... Did we get with that? 12?
There were 5 in the cylinder and 6 more extras, so there are 11 total.
Okay, and how much does it weigh? The same?
Yeah, it just weighs the same.
Okay, so we have... Fuck, say that again? The amount of ammo we had?
You've got 11 bullets. 6 in the cylinder and 5 extras.
And how much do bullets cost?
1 gold piece a piece.
Okay.
But here they've cost 5 silver.
I was about to say I'd be willing to cut that in half.
Okay. And then my second question, or sorry, not my second, but if I'm selling something, it just sells for half if I don't want to haggle for it or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like I'm looking at this lightning reload skill. You can't lightning reload a Marlin. It's just too blocky.
That's fine.
Stop bleeding. You can't stop bleeding with a Marlin. It's actually designed so that the barrel doesn't overheat.
Stop bleeding is one of my favorite gunslinger skills.
It's so cool.
Like, there's no skill quite as badass as you're bleeding out, so you fire your gun and then press the barrel to your wound to keep fighting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you get that shit at level 3.
What the fuck?
I'm also getting some arrows and quiver. Just because the bow's not that useful without them.
But yeah, for the most part, like a lot of the deeds just don't work. Don't ask me why, but Blast Lock doesn't work with the Marlin special. It just doesn't work. And like
Right.
the Gunslinger's Dodge and Gunslinger Initiative, nope. Sorry, it's just such an uncool firearm. You don't feel cool when you're using it.
Well, that's fair. I don't want to look cool. I just don't want to lug around a crossbow.
You don't want to look cool, you want to look alive.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to look cool. I want to shoot somebody with my gun. And
Yeah.
like I said, it's a gun so easy, like a kid could use it. And they do.
And they do.
Child soldiers, yay!
I'm just saying, when the Broken Legion comes to your town, you arm every man, woman, and child. When the bandits from Seven Samurai show up, everybody grab a gun.
And then how much would just like a sword cost for me to use?
Just like a short sword or a long sword?
Like a short sword.
Hey, I think that's literally 1 gold piece. Or is that how much it sells for? A short sword is 10 gold pieces.
Okay, and then to make it masterwork and shit, it's like another 1,000.
That's
or what?
masterwork is 300, and if you want it to be enchanted, that's 1,000 on top of that.
Okay.
So it'd be 1310 for a +1. I'm sorry, 2,160 for a.
No, I just want a fucking sword, dude.
10 gold piece short sword. 310 masterwork short sword. Take your pick.
Okay.
Is short sword a martial weapon?
Oh
Simple
fuck.
weapon.
Be a simple weapon.
I was about to say, it says martial. I'm gonna say fuck that. Short swords are simple weapons. Like,
Okay.
Does it have a strength thing though?
I don't think so.
Is it versatile or not versatile? What's the property in Pathfinder? Finesse?
They don't really have.
No, it can be a finesse weapon. It's a light melee weapon, so you can apply finesse feats to it.
Right.
It's not like 5th edition where you get it automatically. So it's
Right.
Believe me, I had to spend a lot of feats on Salandra to get her to. It was pretty much everything I had when you guys met her.
What? They do not want to let there be any slashing weapons in the simple weapons area.
No.
We got darts, crossbows, spears, morning stars, maces. Can't have a short sword though. That's just too complex.
Too much. Not allowed.
Let it be declared once and for all. A short sword is a simple weapon. Amen.
I feel like if it's like literally just like a straight flat blade or whatever, like if it's curved or whatever, maybe it's a martial weapon or like how you fight with it. But like if it's just a fucking sharp fucking blade, then like, why is it not simple?
I don't know.
Kind of.
Maybe
Yeah,
because of the type of training you have to do in order to be able to use it.
Yeah, or maybe
effectively.
it's like a level of tech thing, too.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I think
also a
the issue is
possibility.
that it's gonna. No, it's not. I was about to say it might be because it has a 19 to 20 crit range, but now daggers have a 19 to 20 crit range.
yeah. I mean, it's a simple weapon in 5th edition. I know that. So I don't know why.
Oh man! Oh, thank goodness! I'm just gonna transpose the 5th edition rule into Pathfinder. It's a simple weapon now. Oh, would you look at that?
But by the power of DM.
By the power of DM.
By the power of DM, fucking wizards can have short swords now. Like, big shrug. You're welcome. Like, who fucking cares?
I love it.
Looking at a thing.
I have filled up my beneficial bandolier.
Blyat.
I've had my falchion electroplated with alchemical silver, but I can't afford the keen, which is sad.
Yet.
Yes.
About to say, Keen Falchion is critting on a 17, right?
15.
Yeah.
I mean, they crit on an 18 normally, so.
Calculator time.
The only thing that I remember was a weird crit fishing build which used a 3.0 class, which was like Disciple of Dispater, which doubles your crit range again.
Yeah, I think 15 is Pathfinder that they decided this is it. This is no more.
Because Disciple of Dispater could get it down to 10.
Yep.
Which is just what? So I rolled an 11 critical threat. Excuse me. Right, because Falchion's credit range is 18 to 20. There we go. Okay, yeah. Because I thought it was 19 to 20. I was like, what? No. Okay. Yeah. Makes
That's
sense.
the reason their damage is freaking low. I mean, it's like, yeah, for a two-handed weapon, it's around the same as like a longsword.
Right. Because it's 2d4, which is more consistent damage, but I want that 2d6. Oh man, you get some stim packs, baby.
Sure do.
Oh yeah, healing potions.
And the barbed scourge whip is a handy tool that will help us later.
And it's recreational purposes too.
I don't know what you're
Exactly.
talking about. The stim packs. You can also get healing pills. You can get some fucking giganto horse pills, healing horse pills.
Oh shit, thanks for the reminder. I forgot to take my vitamins.
Take your vitamins.
Ow.
That was a motherfucker of a heavy flail.
It sure is.
Oh, are we going to sell the heavy flail?
I mean, unless you... I have no use for it.
I'd say if anyone wants a +2 heavy flail.
I could use it. I mean, but I would rather exchange it for a keen enchantment.
I'm about to say, I think you would be able to exchange it for a keen enchantment.
I
People
could
would not
probably
consider-
negotiate it.
Oh.
If you think you could do it, that would be very handy for me.
I have a 21 in diplomacy, and I tell them where exactly this is from.
Ooh. And And yeah, you go to there are weapon shops and shit all over the place.
Of course.
There's 1,000 people talking about what they can do to weapons that no one else can. It's all
I
bullshit.
look for
but
one that looks specifically devoted to the Metal Mother.
I'm about to say you find a Metal Mother forge and they're like, well, thanks for kicking out those assholes. Yeah, sure. We'll you give us the +2 heavy flail and we'll clean up your girl's sword.
Perfect. Here's to hopefully getting that forge operational again.
Here's to it. I mean, it might be more of a historical location at this point, but even so, those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it.
What a sight it was.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
I
And
can
they
chop
take
people in
care of
half
that
as well.
over a couple of days.
Awesome. And the studded leather armor.
Yeah, you'll be selling that for
Yeah.
retail.
That's fine.
I got my share. I'm good.
Cool.
So that +1 stud leather is like 750, 800, something like that.
Yeah, 800, I think.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll add that to the party funds. 5876.
Alrighty.
So now we're back up to 6600. If you give me just a moment, I'll be right back.
Congratulations on your shopping journey. There, is that enough loot? Is that enough
We've
loot for you
shopped!
devils?
Listen, I'm still saving my pennies for that lever action.
I don't suppose there's a cloak of resistance line, a +1 cloak of resistance line around anywhere.
No,
Instead.
I don't think they make those.
Mm,
You might be able to get like a chemical seal and some full plate, but you can't actually get a +1 cloak of resistance.
Not here, anyway. I'm
Not
wearing
here.
one.
yeah. Oh, I've been looking for one of those for a while.
They make them in the jungle.
I should. They make them out of the jungle with like squirrel piss, like.
I think in
You
the wilds
put
too.
some
That
sigils on the cloak, and you make an offering to Obad High, and then boom, you get a +1 cloak of resistance. It's just that easy.
the elves make them. It's really kind of annoying because they're elves. So, but yeah, it's they have good ones, but they don't exactly give them out.
Right, I mean, makes sense.
Hmm. Sorry, the elves are kind of like they think they own the wilds.
Is it bad that they make the clothes because they always make them a little too tall?
Yeah, there's some elves my height. But yeah, they do tend to want to boss people around.
Well, yes, we're older and wiser and fairer. We know what's good for you. Now just shut up and listen.
Damn, Asimir, no one's fairer than me.
Here's
I've
the
got
here's the big hypocritical thing. They would accuse you of hubris, hubris in front of the gods.
I've got fucking angel skin.
Who, me? No. I would never.
No. Is there anything else that you would like to do before returning to the Hellhound?
No, I think we're set. That was a
No,
very
just-
successful day.
Getting my my breastplate enameled so it's not quite so shiny. Is that a problem?
With how shiny it is?
It's pretty shiny. It's pretty, but not very useful for skulking through the woods. And I do like skulking through the woods.
Your best luck will be lacquering it with something to make it darker. Sadly, they did in fact chrome the shit out of it.
Wrong city for stealth, I think.
It's kind of pretty.
They don't happen to sell bags of holdings here, do they?
They do! Yes, they do! Ooh.
Okay, so if I already have a first level bag of
Yeah, she's
holding, could I just like upgrade it for half the cost for
I'm
the
gonna
next
go.
step up?
You could upgrade it. You could upgrade it to the difference.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like the number 2 is 5,000, and I have the 2,500 gold
Yeah, so you
piece
could
version,
spend
so I could
2,500.
2,500
Yeah.
and okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. And platinum is 100 gold, right?
Nope. 10.
10.
10.
Oh, platinum's 10. Okay, then I can't. Never mind.
Boom.
That's a reasonable expenditure of party funds.
That's a very reasonable expenditure of party funds.
I concur.
Considering most of what's in the bag is stuff for my armor.
Okay,
Right.
So that's something you guys want to do then?
Yep, and yeah, Cass is enthusiastically supports it because she feels guilty because she took more.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they just expand the extra dimensional space, and they're like, okay, the secret is to just put more fabric in the fabric, so that way there's more room.
Of course, this
It's
is
all in
all
the text.
science. It's not magic.
Right. They're using tricks of architecture to create more space inside of it. How does it work?
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's weird science, not just science.
And then I'll stick the rest of. I have all of the rest of the Reaver bike in my bag, so all other 150 pounds of it.
Sick.
And what is the price?
Yeah.
It's 5,000. Just 2,500. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because I already have the base version, so it's.
Minus 2,500. Okay. Cool. And so we have 300 total pounds of mithril back in the bag.
150.
150. We spent half of it.
Awesome. Then I don't have to update anything else. Perfect, in fact.
Thank you for doing the party stuff.
You're welcome. Listen, someone's got to. It might as well be me.
Thanks for doing the accounting, because I'm not going to fucking do it.
Jewish.
Ooh! The DM called. He wants you to take care of your shit.
Now that is
Well,
a happy-looking inventory.
Party funds are kind of like one of those things that get confusing.
It's just easier if I do it. It's fine.
So apparently, the advantages of titanium is strength, resistance to corrosion, non-toxic, low thermal expansion, high melting point, and excellent fabrication possibilities. In short, Harlan, your gun's a fucking tank. And it's not like one of the major things is Ankara has discovered this metal. Like they were able to identify what it was, but they were like, who made this into a gun?
It's actually really good because it doesn't heat as much as normal metals, so the barrel would stay pretty cool.
But yeah, like you found it, and they're like, well, I guess that makes sense. That's the most sensible thing about this situation, because if they knew who had made it, that would just raise more questions. But is there anything else that you want to do before you go to the Hellhound?
Hellhound time.
Hellhound time.
Okay, so you guys sit down, grab some food. I would recommend the baked trout. Ooh,
Yes.
Baked trout it is.
with cinnamon and poached eggs. Holy shit.
That sounds so good.
Okay, whoo! This archaeologist comes in. Let me open up my random dwarf name generator. Thank you, Fantasy Names.
It's sad that everybody cooks fish.
Her
It's so
name
good raw.
is Grootrig Hardjaw.
That's such a good name.
Isn't it? I fucking love dwarven names. You slam two fucking words together. So Grootrig, Professor Hardjaw shows up And
What an awfully unfortunate last name for a professor.
I'm Professor Hardjaw. Yes, you are going to fail. Damn, you a bad professor. Out. But she walks over to your table, like spots you immediately, and she like you can. You know what? Everybody, give me a sense motive roll.
It's the same person who was at the museum with us?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh. 23.
Oof. Oof. Cass, you're not paying attention. Dwarves are too short. You can't look that low.
Oops, wrong chat.
That's fine. Oh! Drazul, you and Harlan can tell this lady is fucking tired. But more than tired, she's shook.
Ooh. Not good news then.
And like she comes to you with like a stack of paper, and like it's some sort. It's like a whole list of metallurgical reports, and she just looks at Mary and says, "You were right. I don't know how you knew, but you were right." And like she starts going over all of the pages and all of the data and explaining what was wrong with it. Harlan, give me that beautiful knowledge, architecture, and engineering.
You got it.
Let me see if I can find the Children of the Mirror.
21.
Oh man,
Mm.
like everything she's saying makes so much sense. And you're just like you're just hearing her talk about it, and as you look at it, you're just like, oh god. Like not only is it a replica, but it's a sophisticated replica. Like
Don't like that.
whoever made this, they knew what they were doing. And they made it deliberately.
Somehow they got swapped between your initial testing and being placed in that sealed case.
Yeah.
What about the initial testers? They knew exactly the specs.
Maybe.
Would have been a good time to lose it.
I
Could
don't
the
know.
numbers themselves have been fabricated from the start?
No. I mean, maybe, perhaps, but I don't think it goes that deep.
Hmm.
And like she shows you a copy of like the old data. Oh god, here it is.
It means very little to Meredith, but she pores over it as though she understands.
Right. Yeah, like she pours over the old data and explains like, no, this is all legit. And like it sounds accurate. Like it sounds like a bizarre metallurgical creation which still retains artifact qualities while no longer possessing magical ones. This one, it's not an artifact, it's just a pretty sword. But like the desperation with which that she explains things can be properly expressed in lesson 98 of the Children of the Mirror, interstellar telepathic communication.
Yup.
I know some of these words.
I know some of these words.
I identify with this. Me trying to read anything remotely academic.
Also, man, I love the Children of the Mirror. Like, what if a narcissistic madman was actually given the secrets of the universe? Like,
Wait a second.
I'm sorry, a narcissistic moron. Like,
Cap, you don't get roped into editing for Pidge?
No.
Oh my god.
Pitch doesn't ask
I
me for
thought-
edits anymore.
I thought that was a requirement for like anyone who's in a relationship with an academic.
No,
Cap
I-
edits for me.
Yeah. I took a shock collar and put it on Pidge until she learned how to use commas.
I know how to use commas, semicolons, colons, hyphens, and
M
dashes,
dashes.
and M dashes.
I am so proud of you.
Well,
You probably know more about the specific rules than I do at this stage.
JJ's brilliant, but there's a non-native English speaker. Things like plurals and gender often elude her. So,
That's okay. She has you.
oh,
Give everything a once over. But anyway, this poor hairy dwarf.
mm. Well, have you told anyone about it yet?
No, God, no. I don't
Oh.
know. I don't know who's responsible for this swap, but I don't want to get bound up in it. If they were wealthy and powerful enough to make this happen, you know what? You guys never talked to me. We were not in this tavern. We didn't talk about this.
Of course not. Now,
You-
who are the people that you're most worried about? Who are the elite here who could pull something like this off?
I know this is stupid, and it's probably just the old xenophobia popping up again, but I feel like Janam took it.
I was actually wondering if someone might have taken Janab's too. Wouldn't that be just like Connor?
To want the completed set.
Exactly.
And just like give up the other two when they're already so near at hand.
He wouldn't do that unless he'd already won the game.
One little question: the forgery, was it done with like your methods, or is it done with magic?
It's a forged forgery. If there was any magic used to create it, I don't know who would
Well,
anyone
if it was your buddies in Janarum, probably they would have used some magic to make it a better forgery.
or else they bribed a metallurgist here.
Well,
Do you know anyone who would have this kind of skill?
There are a few.
Names?
Um.
Or places of business, if you...
Throtok Chainback. He's a royal forge master. Kukhethra Largefoot. She's another royal force master. Mekarig the Blind.
You have a blind smith?
Yeah.
Okay.
They feel the metal. We have them in the jungle as well.
He's transcendent. That might be where he learned his talents. Let's say Mekarig is a gnome, and he can do things with metal that I've never seen before. And yeah, Derzul, that's exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Just you get a man or a woman, or you get someone without the sense of sight in a space that they have complete control over.
Yep.
And you give them some metal, and it's theirs. They make it a part of themselves.
It's very impressive to watch.
Well, do we start asking around here, or do we go to Janam and ask there? I'm not sure how much strong arming is going to work.
And Mary says, I think Harlan's right.
You think Connor has them?
It would just be like...
Why can't I be right about fun shit?
It's your cosmic luck, Harlan. It's your burden to bear.
Then
Well?
Mary just says, just imagine it. You send an agent into town, you throw some money at a gifted smith, maybe it's one of these royal forge masters, maybe it's Mechrick, it doesn't matter. You have them look at it, you have them do their best, and they make something that's so goddamn like the original that no one notices it for years. You take the other one home and you sit on it like a fucking dragon. You hoard that shit. Why? The prestige.
But how is it prestigious if no one knows he has them?
Now's not the time that he wants everyone to know he has them. He'll save them for an opportune moment,
It's what he does.
when it gives him the most leverage.
Like now.
He's kind of like a big golem type, right?
Yeah. Big, made out of adamantium, a sinister intellect.
He wouldn't be eligible, would he?
Oh,
No.
God, no. I hope not.
Terrifying thought.
Ah!
Wish
If
wish
you
you
know,
hadn't said that, Cass.
his creator, someone made him at some point and probably didn't do well by him. So, anyway, just a thought.
Horrifying thought.
Oh, God.
I hate everything about that. Thank
Thanks. I hate it. Oh, don't let Connor put his ass on that throne. Oh, my God.
Could you imagine?
Yes, unfortunately.
Hello, I am the god of justice. You have not earned enough. You didn't meet your quota. You don't deserve health care.
You don't get a lollipop today, kiddo.
Let's make, like, evil Terminator Jeff Bezos into the pillar of goodness. And
you. Fucking Terminator Jeff Bezos.
Holy shit. Oh,
I
my
love it.
God. Dave, why did you put that evil into this world? You've manifested this, you maniac.
If Connor ends up eligible, or is trying to sit on the throne, we know who the fuck to blame.
Holy shit.
If I thought of it, Ronald would have too.
I'm
Eventually,
about to say, it's inevitable that I might have.
we have similar evilness. So
it's true, your DM energy is very the same.
It's very simpatico. But, yeah. And Mary
Here's our
says,
question.
we need to take that shit away from him.
well, I mean, do we want to go to Drown and just double check to make sure that's
What about this? If we find that both of you have had your swords taken, would that be enough to stand together against Connor?
Yeah,
Are you
it
talking
might.
about starting a war?
Not
I'm not talking about
necessarily.
starting a war. I'm talking about if a war is already happening, who's gonna stand against him?
Well,
If he's already claimed both weapons, it's likely that might be his next move.
and
You're not wrong.
he is a man of commerce. There's no doubt in my mind that we could. Dave, what was the name of Solandra's city?
The new city in the middle?
Yes.
I don't know if we ever gave it a name.
We didn't name it, actually.
Well then, it needs a name.
Oh, let's not do random. I don't know. The one that popped into my head because Solandra's from Oasis is Mirage, but I don't know if that's
Ooh,
I
I like that.
I'm about to say, if we can bring this information to Mirage, we could get some people together. And Connor is a man of business. If we can present a great enough offer for him, he'll sell it.
What do you get the man who has everything?
You get him more.
Meredith, that phrase pops up in your head again. I don't need someone who can imagine enough.
Yeah, in Connor's case, that's very literal.
So long as we end up paying more than what he paid for them, he'll go for it.
Or give him something that he wants that's more useful to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
It's not
too.
necessarily more, it's maybe there's something that he needs.
Are we for certain that Connor has these fucking swords?
Nope.
Mary
Yes.
just
Nope.
says it was just a feeling.
It makes sense.
We'll go to Janam. We'll check. We'll make them aware.
I'm gonna stop by Mirage on the way.
Well, the security hopefully isn't. No offense, but you guys, that wasn't a very secure place to put a priceless artifact.
Well, I guess we never suspected that anybody would want to steal it.
Did you have any security on it at all?
There's a lock on the case.
So
Oh
at any
my
point,
God.
so at any point, not just in the moment where it was being transferred from lab to museum, at any point in time in the last 28 years, this thing could have been stolen.
It's also a very difficult to break case, and that's bulletproof glass.
Is there something special about that lock on that case, or is it just a regular lock?
It's a good lock. Like, Zodger's like, I couldn't pick it. But just because I can't pick it, doesn't mean no one can pick it. We have guards! They only nap every once in a
I'm
while.
sure you do.
I'm sure you have a lot of things that a lot of very good thieves could probably sneak past.
You may want to check on some of your other acquisitions.
Yeah. What's that
Just
thing
saying.
about theft in the art world? Like, some of the best counterfeits are sitting on people's or some of the best counterfeits are sitting in museums.
I can give you some common sense advice that you probably won't take because, well, I mean, to me, the easiest stuff to steal from you would be anything that's supposed to be magical or related to magic, because you don't have a lot of people who use magic.
Right.
You need to bring in someone from Janam to go over your collection,
Yeah.
and you should probably hire
That's
someone
right.
from Janam while you're at it.
Yeah. I'm just a researcher. I'll throw those out at our next committee meeting.
Yeah, I've done
You
some
do that.
some security work, and that place was bad.
I'm about to say, she says, our next community meeting, I don't know who, but somebody makes a jack-off motion. Just like, oh yeah, community meeting. Oh, perfect. Oh,
Like
we
I
need
said,
to
it
improve
isn't-
security. Oh, we don't have it in the budget.
You know why you don't have it in the budget?
Because all
And
your
your fucking artifacts are fake.
Because you spend a lot of money on artifacts that you no longer have.
But Miss Strongjaw fucking Miss Hardjaw fucking bounces. She's like, I gotta go. I gotta figure out what to do about this.
I feel for her.
She's about to have one hell of a bad day.
She'll just keep it quiet until someone else notices, and they might not because they probably haven't noticed for like 28 years.
She strikes me as the honest type. I give it about 6 hours before she tells someone else because she can't take it anymore.
You're not wrong. I know a squealer, and that's a squealer.
All right, so do we want to fool around here any longer? Is there anything else? Do you want to follow up with any of these metallurgists, or head on to Mirage and Janam?
We could go to Mirage and Jernam and just make sure that
I
the
don't
other
think we're going to gain anything from shaking them down. I think we'll gain much more from going to the other city.
'cause I'm sick of this place.
I'm about to say, you track one of these guys and shake him down. You might get some information, but it's information you don't really need, and you're going to end up on the wrong side of the law.
And we might alert someone who's actually like trying to hide that information
Right.
into the
Exactly.
fact that we're looking for it.
Well,
Sometimes
frankly,
the juice
if-
is not worth the squeeze.
If you're right about what Hardjaw is going to do, then we probably want to get moving as soon as possible so that we can get out ahead of the news and
Yes,
people's reaction to the news.
It's not a bad
I
idea.
think that would be wise.
It's getting dark, but you guys can travel by night more capably than others.
I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, if you guys put in the legwork and are able to properly convince Ankara and Janam both that their holy blades were taken by Connor, I'm not going to say it's going to result in war, but that's an international incident right there.
They'll get into a blockade of economic sanctions.
Oh, yeah, it's time for sanctions, baby.
Delicious.
Not to mention a whole bunch of, what the fuck did you just say to me, you little bitch? I'll let you know that I have 300 confirmed for kills in guerrilla warfare. Like,
Hold
just
on,
a
I've
lot
got
of
that. Hold on,
posturing back and
give me a second.
Thank you.
Do we need some sort of transportation? I mean, I don't mind hoofing it, but you guys are a little slow.
I'm about to say, you guys could rent some horses. You could rent some Helgak. You could rent a carriage.
We could hop back on the train.
The
That doesn't
Moloch
go
Ex-
between cities.
Yeah, the
Oh.
Moloch Express does not go west.
It heads straight towards
Wait,
Colorado.
does it not have to go west to get?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it only
No.
goes west at Armstrong. The route is Connor's city, where his palace is, north to Ankara, north to the Wilds, west to north to District 4, just somewhere in the World Bazaar, north to the Wilds, and then west to Armstrong.
So it's a big diagonal line, not through Janam.
Right, it goes just about as fucking far away from Junam as you can go. He's been talking about adding a stop to the Hell Jungle, but the Hell Jungle is like, no, out of this house.
Well, also, good luck having a fucking train be maintained in the fucking hell jungle.
You know,
One thing I'm keeping a close eye on as we're getting ready to depart. Have we drawn? I mean, we're an unusual group, but have we drawn any attention that seems particularly intense?
don't think so.
okay.
Like, you guys have done a good job of keeping a low profile and making yourself very hard to follow.
Yeah, it's basically I'm wondering if Meredith's old boss is.
Yeah, I've been wondering about the fact, like, where the fuck Nemesis agents have been.
Well, I feel like they were able to follow your trail to the graveyard and to Wind City and then back into the graveyard, and they lost you on the way to Armstrong. Just because,
we
like,
took a weird route.
you guys went through a tomb and showed up in Drax's tower, and then went west and crossed the mountains, and then you almost froze to death. And if you almost froze to death, those agents are fucked. Like, people in District 4 don't bring cold weather gear. So, somebody might have fucking died trying to cross that mountain, and if they did, they never found you. And then you hopped on the Moloch Express and went to Ankara. They lost track
Like,
of you.
you're gone.
Like, I don't... That's fucking...
Our
probably
trail is
just-
fucking cold.
They're backing off until we get bold.
I don't
Right.
know if Nemesis agents would include reptilian types, but that would be particularly bad in the mountain passes.
Oh, yeah, almost certainly. Like, all I can think of is, like, one of those Saturday morning circus cartoons where the kid goes all over the place and there's just the dotted line everywhere. And it's just
Yeah.
like, I can't. What the fuck did these kids do? So, yeah, there's probably some angry Medusas at the Black Hand being like, you lost them?
What do you mean you lost them?
Some classic fucking movie villain shit. You haven't recovered the body? Get the LAPD on this!
Where's my half sister? Meredith has a bunch of half sisters around, if I recall correctly.
You're not wrong.
Not Meredith. I'm sorry. Mary.
It's a really unfortunate name that you chose for that NPC.
Yeah. Right, like, either these agents are so well hidden that you can't even see them in the days you've kept your eyes peeled, or they fucking lost you.
Yeah, and if we couldn't see them when we were looking for them, then we're fucked anyways, so like...
Good point.
Could I roll something, some sort of knowledge, maybe local, to get an assessment of who might have been sent after us?
Oh man, who's that bitch you hate?
Oh, jeez, hold on. Isn't her?
Yeah, you bet it is.
Let me... Give me 2 seconds while this loads, because many pages. Acquaintances. Mean Mornell.
Mean Mornell. There is no doubt in your mind that Niamisa would have sent her, expecting her hatred to sustain her.
You know what sustains her more often these days?
What?
Basilisk's blood.
Ooh, fucking got him.
She's not going to venture far from her supply.
You're not wrong. Or she's gonna have to buy a bunch in advance, and that means, like, she's been cut off by the organization formally, so she's gonna have to shake down people for cash.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just, you know what leaves a trail? You shaking down people for cash so you can buy drugs. So, you know, if you want to figure out where she's been, just ask about someone matching her description, shaking down people who people wouldn't know about. Like, shaking down, you know, criminals, lowlifes, and crime lords.
Well, as long as we keep on moving fast, and no one has a clear idea of where we're going to, we've got a good
Cells
chance.
included.
Yeah, well, the problem is that now there's at least one person who knows that our ultimate destination may be Connor. So hopefully they don't chat with her. Because then they can get out ahead of us.
We'll see.
The name of Connor's capital city is Iron Fist.
Because why
Makes
wouldn't
sense.
it be?
Oh, good.
Because why wouldn't it be? Because if you're able to name your own capital city and people, like, you just name it whatever the fuck you want.
Why couldn't he have called it, like, Silken Glove? Everyone would have got it, and it wouldn't have been right in your face.
No, because Connor wants it right in your face.
Yeah, but it's much more elegant.
Oh yeah, it's not classy at all.
I don't think he's trying to be elegant.
Doesn't strike me as his strong suit.
No,
I've heard that he can be remarkably subtle at times.
he can, but there's nothing like a vulgar display of power.
I didn't perceive him as being subtle when he spoke with us.
Not subtle at all.
I
Also,
forgot.
Shit, you guys had to talk to him?
His interrogating of you now makes a whole lot more sense.
Do you remember what he said to you?
Keep doing what you're doing.
He might have known what your goal was before you did.
I relay that.
He
That
might
would be just like him.
expecting us, specifically you, to figure out this plot.
Maybe.
Well, there are rumors that he is a Hult worshipper, and if that's true, if he was able to commune with Hult, he would know what you know.
He would.
Oh shit!
That's interesting to think
Connor
about.
was so much easier to deal with when he was insane.
You could always count on him doing the thing that made the least sense. Now he's got motives and means.
You can always count on him doing the thing that made the least sense that resulted in the most violence and mayhem.
Yep.
Does he still have an arena, I wonder?
No, he got rid of it.
No.
Can't remember that
He-
specifically.
Definitely scrapped that.
Made it an amphitheater instead.
Oh, yes. He does love a good play. One of his favorites? Titus Andronicus.
Who could tell the difference between the arena and that?
She swallowed burning coals. But if you guys want to move fast, there are horses, there are carriages, and you could hire a small Helgak ship.
Costs for each.
What was that?
Costs.
Costs. So individual horses are the cost of horses.
Mhm.
Helgak, let's just toss on an extra 20% for Helgak, just because they can go as the crow flies, and then a ship will be double what horses are. And you're not going to be able to rent these horses because they're going one way.
Well, if our goal is to cover our tracks and we got the money in the kitty, how about we fly?
Oh, me too. Just because
I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah.
So long as you don't mind riding in a large bioengineered Helgak surrounded by metal.
We're riding inside the Helgak.
Oh, I thought we were going to ride on regular Helgak.
Well, so riding the Helgak is a possibility, but if you're in the ship, it's a bioengineered Helgak that's been like grown and mutated to like turn into a giant like
It's basically a
StarCraft
blimp.
overlord surrounded by metal armor.
And I suspect that all of those have a.
A crew.
No, I was about to say that all of them have like a. Oh my god, my brain is failing. Who is our buddy from? Who is Landra's buddy from
Grub.
Grub? It's like Grub Industries,
Right.
on these Helgak ships.
That is correct. All of the ships are labeled Grub Industry Standard. The name you can trust.
And it actually is a name you can trust.
You're not wrong. I'm about to say, he's not even that old. He's only like 63 or some shit.
He's probably rich enough to get some longevity potions.
You're not wrong.
If we want to fly, remind me the cost.
So it's the cost of a horse.
75 for light, 200 for heavy.
All right. So I'll say the ship is just 800.
Okay.
And that's how much it'll cost to charter a ship, and that's to get to Mirage and Janam. They'll wait in Mirage for you to be done with your business.
Okay.
And it's just like a fucking flying saucer. It's propelled entirely by weird Helgak farts. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Outside?
Truly bizarre.
Money is spent.
What does a Helgak look like?
They look kind
Like
of
a
like
friendly blimp.
they look
Sort of
kind
like
of
a
the,
blimp, the cross between a blimp and a flayed horse.
I kind of pictured them looking more like the engineers from Halo.
Oh, okay.
Here's the concept art for one. But all of these are acceptable.
Okay.
And
Oh, that looks like one of those critters from Skyrim.
and they're just so genetically mutable that you can just like put one in a pod and like grow it into a giant weird fucked up monster.
Mm-hmm.
Ornery creatures. Well, ornery run wild. When docile and domesticated, they're just like cows that are better able to defend themselves. Much
Okay.
better. they can deliver a brutal bash. But yeah, that's what a Hellgek is. But you guys charter a ship, and a ship needs a captain. And a captain gets a name. Damn, it's one of the few humans you've seen in this place.
Do 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 do.
There we go. Ooh. Come on. God damn it.
My God.
What was that?
2017?
What?
I'm looking at Filth and Bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Filth and Bugs?
It was your thing, so I figured you'd know it. It's your old Discord.
Oh! That was actually a friend's Discord. I
Okay.
took it off my list because I just don't go there anymore. Your captain is Captain Miroslav Vukasin. He is just the captain of a small freighter. You may ask him to use his ship if you will. Or you can just pay him the money and say we get to the place.
I'll just pay him unless he's going to ask us any questions about our business. I don't think we need to.
Nope. You hand him the money and he says, "Don't worry, I get paid not to ask questions."
Beautiful. We're going to get along swimmingly.
It's the postman.
It's the postman.
And,
Ivan.
and he takes you guys to Mirage. Let me see if I can find an image of a wild magic city. Because this place is fucking wacky.
Oh yeah, because the barriers between the planes were a little thin there.
Just a little thin.
I just imagine there's all these just magic anomalies floating around.
Yeah, I can't find anything that satisfies what I'm looking for. So yeah, it's just like a large techno-magical city with like arcing electricity and belching fiery gouts.
Mushrooms and
Oh yeah, you gotta have the shrooms. If you don't have
weird
shrooms, you ain't got
clouds.
nothing. Blasted, cracking black wastelands surrounded by little miniature blizzards.
Interesting.
It looks like hell if hell was pretty.
Could use a little more greenery.
I think most places here probably could. What's the environment? Too dry.
Oh yeah, the soil is still pretty fucked.
I hear it used to be worse.
So much worse. Wild magic sorcerer. Hi, I'm a danger to myself and those around me. But the captain lands his ship, and you are all in Mirage.
Excellent.
Want to pick it up next time?
Yeah, I think that this is a really good pause point.
Agreed. Congratulations, y'all. You have arrived. Oh, there we go. Thank
Love
you.
it.
Oh, yeah, because I wanted there to be a bunch of floating shit. Okay, good. Throw in the floating shit. We got floaty shit.
Floaty shit.
Floaty shit.
Floating rocks and crystals and buildings.
Yes.